My name is Dr. Brad Reedy. I am a therapist, I'm a parent educator, I'm an author, I'm a podcaster, and I run a program for adolescents and families that are struggling with mental health and addiction issues. There's an idea in psychology that the result of the work, whether it be your psychological work or whether it be the work that you're working on physically or spiritually, emotionally, that the result of the work is not what you get out of it, but who you become in the process. Whatever path you're taking, whatever journey you're on, it's the journey that changes you. It's the journey that defines you. It's the journey that helps you to discover yourself. On this journey, you'll break and bleed. You'll suffer. And in an essence, there's a death that happens. And really what that death is, and it's spoken of in many cultures and many religions, it's the death of the old self. It's that idea that you transform into something bigger. You transform into something, a greater version of yourself. So whether it's a parenting journey, a work journey, a spiritual quest that you go on, the ultimate prize is you finding yourself in this process, becoming the most authentic version of yourself. One of the things they told me when I was a kid is you could become anything you want. But what I didn't know is I had to be better at failure. The fear of failure is the enemy of creativity. It's the enemy of discovery. It's the enemy in our lives. So in some ways you learn to befriend the fear. You learn to make it your friend, to use it. You learn to wrestle with it, so to speak. The second fear that happens is the fear of what other people think of you. If you don't grapple with that, if you don't grapple with the idea of failure, of being rejected, it's going to be hard to discover yourself, because those are the things that hold us back. Those are, if you will, the sentinels that stand guard in the way of you finding and discovering your most authentic self. It's not about being at war with fear. It's not being at war with failure or the challenges. It's understanding that the challenges are there to teach you. The challenges are your friends. The challenges are something to grapple with. I love the idea that we take our demons and we don't fight with them, but we listen to them. The hero in our stories and the villains in our stories have the same backstory. It's really what you do with it that defines who you are. I think once you realize that the challenge is the teacher, it is the thing that transforms you, I think you can bear almost any difficulty. And that's really the definition of grit, is to be able to adapt. It's not being rigid and tight. That is death. It's being flexible. It's being plastic. It's being able to adapt to a situation. One of the most common features of successful people is that they understand that they determine their success and happiness. The world doesn't determine it. People that are less successful attribute success or failure to something outside of their control. And this is true for people struggling with alcohol addiction and sobriety, and people struggling with medical school or sales or playing professional baseball. I don't think that there's a way to learn the lesson academically. If there was, we would just have the greatest books and we would read them and we would all have the same kind of awareness. But you have to bleed. You have to struggle. You have to go through the thing to find this transformation. You can't, there's no hack, there's no shortcut to this process, and you can't go around it. You have to go through it. The only way, Rumi said, the only way is through this process. So you just keep taking the step, the next step, doing the next right thing.